Hello and welcome back to the Tyranny Stories channel, where today I want to try doing another writing challenge because I've been having a lot of fun with them lately and I can't get enough of them, so I keep finding more of them to do. I get a lot of them from Kate Kavanaugh, actually. She is my favorite writer YouTuber out there. Disclaimer, I have had coffee today in my favorite mug. Just kind of writing the high of being off videos for 3 days, like just taking a small break. I didn't mean to take 3 days. The first day I was just kind of very sick and it wasn't happening. The second day I was just very tired. The third day I just totally forgot to make a video. So here we are, day 4. I'm making this video. And what I want to do is, I actually had to rewatch Kate Kavanaugh's video so I could see how this thing works. It's called the Stair-Step Writing Challenge, I guess, and I feel like she's probably the one that came up with it, but I could be wrong. So, what you do is, you write for a period of time and see, how many words you're writing per minute or per, amount of minutes, and, so you start the challenge with, she started with 20 minutes, so I'll probably do about the same, and then the goal, just an example, if your goal was 100 words and you wrote 150, then you would step down to 15 minutes trying to write 150 words, because that's how many you wrote last time. And then, in that 15 minutes, if you only wrote 125 words, then you would go back up to 20 minutes with the goal to write 125 words, and then you just keep stepping down as much as you can and then going back up as you have to while you're writing. So my first goal is going to be 20 minutes, and I think I'm going to write probably, do I have that option in here? Yeah, okay. There's a timer setting on Dabble that I might use. If not, I'll probably use the Google one, but the beeping is annoying and I don't really like it. This thing keeps track of how many words I've written in that time. So anyway, so I'm gonna write for 20 minutes, and my goal, because I'm thinking about 20 minutes, I could probably write 350 words. That seems like a normal amount for somebody to write in that amount of time. So I'm going to write for 20 minutes, and we're gonna see how many words I can get written, and then, like I said, we'll keep stepping down and then stepping back up as we have to. I don't know how many actual, how many sprints I want to do. I have no idea, but I'm gonna write for this first 20 minutes, see how I do, if I can write the 350. And if I do, the next one will be 15 minutes, so I'm going to start the 20-minute sprint now. So in this first 20-minute sprint, I actually wrote a lot more words than I thought I was going to. I worked on the section with lab that I have in the actual manuscript over here, but I'm still working on it in general, so I wrote what I had and kind of thought about that for a little bit, and then I moved on to another section that I'm working on to add a little bit more dialogue to it while I'm just kind of, trying to fill in these sections I'm working on, because the goal at the end of Preptober here is to get as many sections done as I can that have already been written, or that have been halfway written, or have an outline for them, like a full outline for them. And if they don't, I do want to take, this is just a notebook I have that I use for mostly writing, but I use it for other things too whenever I need to. But most recently, like, all of these pages have been writing outlines for chapters, or actually writing full chapters in by hand to get an idea of where the story's going. So I think that today I'm definitely just going to be typing words, because it'll be easier to count them after however many minutes, and it'll be a better metric of how much I can write in whatever amount of time. So in 20 minutes, I wrote 550 words exactly, actually, instead of 350. So with this challenge, we're going to go down to 15 minutes and see if I can still write the 550 words I wrote in 20 minutes, just 5 minutes less, to see if I can still write that many words. But I do want to, through this challenge, I want to see how many words I can write first of all, with however many sprints I decide to do, and see if this is a good method. And I want to write as many words as I can out of this manuscript. I'm on page 158, I think this says. But again, it's another chapter that has almost nothing written, so I'll write what's here and then move on to the next one, which I believe is going to be a longer one with Celine. This is when they go to the library, I'm pretty sure. So this isn't even in the right order. I have to figure out what I want to do with this section, like where I want to put it, if I want to keep it at all, or what the outline here says. But I do want to get some more words written, so I'm going to start another timer, this time for 15 minutes, and then we will see how many words I can get written. Hopefully 550. If not, then we go back up and then we continue on that way. So 15 minutes, goal is 550. I'm gonna start. Okay, so on the second sprint here of 15 minutes, I wrote a lot less words, actually, not more, less. I wrote 396 words in 15 minutes, as opposed to the 550 I wrote in 20 minutes. So we're going back up to 15 minutes. I'll make a little graph at the end, because I think it'll look really interesting to see how my little graph looks. So we're going back up to 20 minutes and writing at least 396 words. I was kind of distracted in this 15-minute sprint, though, so I'm hoping doing these two again, I'll be able to get it down in minutes, and we'll see where I end up. But I did write down what I had for Xander's section, and then I started the one with Celine that's 1,300 words long currently. We'll see if it ends up longer or shorter. But I did start that one, and I'm going to keep working on it. I don't know if I'm going to finish it in this 20 minutes or if I'm going to need a couple more sprints, but I'm really just kind of taking my time and adding detail where I see fit and trying to help the story flow a little bit better. So, and adding, descriptors as they kind of come to me, and I can kind of describe them as I go, because it's really hard to take myself out of the scene to kind of think about, oh, what words would describe what I'm seeing right now in my head, because as the writer I know what I mean, but I have to make sure the reader knows what I mean too. So I'm doing that as much as I can. And I think I want to make a video later, I don't know when, at some point, taking some of these scenes from my story and trying to describe them better, or just doing like exercises on describing things. I think I'm definitely going to do a video on that at some point, not sure when, but I'll add it to my list of videos I want to make. I have a whole never-ending list in this notebook, and I just kind of pick from it all the time. The colored ones are the ones I've already done, so these are all the ones I did for this year so far. And then these are all in pencil. These are all the ones that I would like to get to if I can. If not, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but I'll have to add that to the list. So I'm going to write for 20 minutes, hopefully writing more than 396 words, and then we'll see where I end up from there. Okay, so this last sprint did go better than the previous one. I wrote barely more words than I had written in the 15 minutes. I wrote 422, which my goal was 396, so I did just barely made it over that. So I'm going to go back down to 15 minutes. I feel like I'm having trouble writing as many words as I did in the first sprint that I had that was really good. One, first sprint of the day. Mine's clear. Have plenty of words to write. Two, this section I'm working a lot more with and trying to, like I said in the last clip, I'm trying to describe things as I can and stuff like that, so it's taking longer to come up with the words and then type them, whereas before I was just kind of retyping what I had before and just kind of making things flow a little better, which isn't quite as hard for me. Describing things or using descriptors for things is probably one of the hardest things I have trouble with, because I write very dialogue heavy. Like, I drive the story forward with that, or a character's inner thoughts. It feels like dialogue to me too. So describing where they are, what's going on, what they're doing in between the dialogue is really hard, so I'm working on that more. But I did write 422 words, and I have a couple of milestones for the day so far. So I've made it over 1,000 words. I'm at a little over 1,300 words. And I actually just passed 60,000 words in this manuscript, which is great. I was just looking at the stats and stuff, and I was like, oh, look at that, I'm at 60,000. So that's pretty great. And then I did in this sprint, I got distracted again. I keep getting distracted. I need to stop doing that. I set up my NaNoWriMo novel, which is going to be this one for November. NaNoWriMo, which is, I think it's a week from now, isn't it? Yeah, like a week and 2 days from now, because it's next Wednesday is going to be the first day of NaNoWriMo. So, and I think for that, I'm going to try to do a vlog every day, kind of like I make videos every day, but those videos are going to be mostly just me working on my NaNoWriMo project and talking about it with you guys. But I do have a video before that that's going to be the spreads I'm using for NaNoWriMo, and I think I'm just going to put them in my regular notebook this time. Sometimes I do put them in the notebook I'm using for this story right now. It's where all these stickers all came from the Scribbler box that I get, and I actually just went through all my postcards I've gotten from them, and I have like 27. So over the last like 3 years, I've gotten 27 boxes from them, and I regret nothing. I've loved everything in the boxes, all the books, all the goodies you get and stuff. Definitely worth it. But I make a video about those every month, so I'm not going to go on and on about it. The only thing with putting them in here is I'm still working on the outline right now. I don't even have it fully put into this notebook, so once I do, I'll be putting my NaNoWriMo stuff in here again, and then I'll probably have to get a new notebook because I think we're probably almost halfway there, honestly. Like, I've written a lot in here, and I do love this notebook because of how thick it is. So yeah, I've used almost half of it. So I think this year I'm going to, since I haven't finished the outline, which is to say I have finished it and I have a whole spreadsheet. I just haven't made a detailed outline of each section, and if I have, it's in here, and I don't really look at those cards very often, so I need to write them in the notebook so I can look at them while I'm writing. So for this year, I'm going to put all of my NaNoWriMo trackers in here, because we're only in November, and I have like so many pages left of this notebook, so I might as well use them if I can, and it'll be nice to look back on for like the future when I'm looking back through the notebooks I've used over the years, because I think this is like the 6th or 7th bullet journal I've had. Sometimes I use them for a full year depending on how big the notebook is. Sometimes I only use them for half a year. This notebook is a half-year one because there's just not enough pages for it to be a full year. But I am going to put my NaNoWriMo bullet journal spreads in here, and I'll make a video about those probably, what I've chosen to do for that. It's going to be, I know that 2 of the spreads are going to be the same ones I have every month for my writing. It's going to be my sections tracker, which might look a little different since we're trying to write a lot of words, and then the word count tracker is going to be there, but it's going to say NaNoWriMo instead of Project Red because NaNoWriMo was such a big deal. But I'll definitely make a video on that now that I've been talking for 5.5 minutes. I've been rambling for long enough. I'm going to, after this break, I'm going to write for 15 minutes and see if I can write more than, what was it, 422 words is the next goal. So we're going to see if I can write 422 words in 15 minutes. No distractions this time. We're just gonna write. Okay, so I just finished the sprint and I got 427 words, it says there. So I did manage to win the sprint, I guess. But in the last minute or two, this is what I wrote. Look at all these words that are just misspelled or, don't go where they're supposed to or anything like that. I had a mad dash in the last 2 minutes to write as many words. And I think I did that. I think I did write quite a few words. So, I don't know where to put you. I guess I'll put you in here. So, I'm going to have to look over those real quick and see how many words I need to fix now. So 427. And our running total is 17. I'm going to get to 2,000 words here soon. 1795. So the next sprint is going to be 10 minutes. And I'm going to have to try to write 427 words in 10 minutes. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. My word counts have been a little bit crazy. So I'll definitely make it over 2,000 if I do write that many words. But so far this section is going interestingly. I'm having a little bit of a thing go on with Xander and Celine right now, and she's getting to see some of his abilities that you wouldn't notice if you didn't know he was a vampire. So she is noticing these things and just kind of keeping a little thought running in her head about it. So she's doing that, and they're looking for books on because they're trying to research about this house that they have to go to, the haunted house that she got the weasel bumps from, which could kill her because she's still half human, and they need to help this ghost find peace, but they don't even know who this ghost is or what happened in this house or anything like that. So they're having to do, sorry, I'm trying to get comfortable in this chair. So they're having to do research to, see what they can find out about, what happened in this house and all that stuff. But Xander doesn't like going to the library, so it's going to be interesting to see how he interacts with her and the thought of, having to read for an entire day. But for now, I'm going to write for 10 minutes now, apparently, and then we will see how many words I get written or if I'm going to have to go up again or down. We'll see what happens. Wow, so in this 10-minute sprint, I managed to do better than I did do on the 15-minute sprint. I wrote 442 words. I don't think I'm going to get anywhere close to that 550 I had before, but that's okay. Now, though, since I wrote 442 words in 10 minutes, now it's going to be half the time, and I'm going to try to write 442 words or more in the next 5 minutes. We'll see if I can do that. If not, we're going back up to 10 minutes. But so far, I've written 2,237 words. So far, this sprinting has been great. I've written so many words, and I'm actually about to finish this section with Celine. And then I don't know what section's next. I'm going to have to find out. But I might want to do that before I start the sprint so I know where I'm going, because 5 minutes isn't a lot of time to write 442 words. That's 80-something words a minute, I think. Something like that. So, good luck to me, I guess. I'll let you guys know how it goes. If it goes well or not, we'll have to wait and see. So I'm going to go write some words. Okay, so as I thought, this last sprint did not go as well as the 10-minute sprint did, but it was half the time to write the same amount of words. So half the time, I wrote half the amount of words. So I wrote 234 words. So we are going to be going back up to 10 minutes to see if I can write 234 words, which I'm sure I can. And then we'll just go from there up and down as the words progress or not. And I don't know how many sprints I'm going to do, but I am at almost 2,500 words for the day. So maybe I'll go on a little bit longer depending on how many words I write. I am going to take a small break though from this, and I am going to go make dinner. I have no idea what we're having for dinner, but I'll figure it out when I get down there. And then hopefully coming back to this with a fresher mind, I'll be able to write even more words and get through a significant amount of these sections. Like today, I think I've done pretty good anyways, so I'm going to continue on with that after I eat, and I'll let you know how the 10-minute sprint goes. Okay, so finishing with this last sprint I just did for, so what did we did 10 minutes this time, and my goal was to write 234 words. I only wrote 209, which, not great, because that was double the time to write the same amount of words, but I did have a lot of, thinking to do, and I forgot to figure out what section I was working on after I finished the one with Xander, so I had to go look for that, and then, I was working on cleaning up some, writing and stuff, too, and like I've been doing all day, trying to get better at describing, so I did not write enough words. So I should be writing for 15 minutes next, and then trying to write 209 words. But I am getting tired, and I've done 7 sprints, and those are probably add up to at least an hour, if not more. So I have written plenty today, and I've, in this challenge anyways, and then, I've written 2,680 words today, which a lot of the time when I'm having really good days, 2,600 to 2,800 is about where I stop. So I guess that's really just kind of my limit, is between 2,600 and 2,800, which that's fine with me. It's just interesting to see that I have 4 days this month so far that I've written between 2,600 and 2,800 all those times. So I don't know that I'm gonna get above that 3,000 mark. Maybe that'll be another vlog, is trying to write 3,000 words in a day, because I get so close. I get 200 words away, and I'm just like, man, I am too tired for today. I have written so much. I'm over it. I don't want to do this anymore. So, maybe that'll be another one I try, is trying to write 3,000 words in a day. Or how long does it take me to write 3,000 words? I don't know. The title would still be in progress, obviously, because I'm not doing it anytime soon. But this one, I did enjoy it. I enjoyed trying to get the words written, but I did also set another, different goal for myself on the inside to describe things better. So the words, they came out eventually, but let me know down in the comments how this, I think this is like the last week of Preptober. Looking at the calendar, yeah, I think we have like a week and like a day or two left, so let me know how this last week of Preptober is going for you. Me, I'm just trying to write as much as I possibly can, and coming off this 3-day break from videos and writing, I think I'm going to be able to get a lot done this week. So I will see you guys in the next vlog. Bye.